What's up guys and welcome back to the channel. I'm Andy the Middle-Aged Gamer and this is the brand new 2024 Marksman 9 AR9 GBBR review. Now, as always, let's start with a brief overview. What is the Marksman 9 and why does this look familiar? Well, it should. If you're a fan of basically AR9s on the real steel world, you'll know this as the Wilson Combat AR9 with the Glock mag setup. Now, of course, Marksman, which we all know is another company, but shh, don't tell anyone. Marksman basically wanted to get the license, but decided against it due to cost, because Wilson is not cheap, and just decided to copy everything about it, barring the actual markings. So, okay, with all that out the way, let's jump in, let's show you what they've done, and let's do what we always do. Let's start at the rear and work our way forward. Okay, starting here at the rear, we have the CAR-15 AR stock. This is straight off a standard AR-15, and it, obviously being the CAR-15, it's a pretty old and reliable, old faithful stock. Most people won't keep it. I know I won't be. I only kept this for the purposes of the review, so there you go. It does feature the nice checkering on the back for grip, and of course it can go in and out by just pushing the adjustment button right there. You have your sling point right here, which is molded in. Use it at your own risk. It is plastic after all, but you do have your standard sling loop right here at the bottom if you want to use that one. Now, that is mounted to a standard AR-15 buffer, which is manufactured by VFC, but it is their standard single piece buffer, and you do get the standard castle nut, which you can obviously see in the markings, the dings and that. This has been used quite well, and I really love it. Now, if I drop the magazine here so we can get it easier on camera for you, let's move down to the bottom and let's discuss the grip. Okay, so the grip is a standard AR-15 grip. Again, it's all in the name. This is a AR9. It's based off of the AR-15 to give it as much commonality in parts and so on, and for use, because those that like the AR-15 but doesn't want the expensive rounds, etc. of 5.56 because it's going up these days, shooting a 9, it's really great, especially in competition shooting or home defense. Now, with this, obviously being an AR-15 grip, you can swap it out with any mil-spec, gas blowback, whatever you grips. Just remember to use the screw that comes with it. Just take that one out and put it in your new one, okay? Now, you do get your lower CNC finish, which is your lower receiver, which comes with a nice, I would say, fully included, enlarged trigger guard. So you have plenty enough room for your trigger. And if I charge that, your trigger is right at the wall. And you basically have 2.5 to 3 millimeters of travel with the brake somewhere in the middle. Your reset, 1, 2, and again. It's really easy and it's a nice, and if you listen, nice brake, nice reset. Now, you can see here, you do have, instead of painted on, now the CNC'd in, you have no bullets, 1 bullet, and fast semi. Wink, wink. Takedown pins here at the rear, and you also have one here at the front, and you have your standard bolt release, okay, which is also your holder open. Now, you do have the nice scalloping out here and the nice ergo design for the upper receiver here. On the top, the charging handle is a standard mil-spec AR-15 charging handle. Again, manufactured by VFC. And you can use any standard VFC GBBR charging handles. They'll all fit as long as they are for a GBBR. Now, the bolt carrying side is for the 9mm, so it is shorter, but you do have full length charging handle on top. Now, of course, with your bolt release, it is nice and enlarged. It is, sunken in here, so you do have the nice upper receiver to protect it for accidental bumping, which is kind of good. And yeah, it does a really good job. Now, another cool, neat party trick is your flared magwell inside, and if you can see that little bumper there, the Allen key that's supplied with this, you just insert that into there, and you can adjust the magwell for the tighter fit. So, zero wobble, because I've adjusted it, but again, like I say, if you have different mags, this is the Marksman 9 mags, but if you use the others, which we should actually get onto right now, you can adjust the magwell to, fit those mags. Now, this basically runs off VFC spec, so What I mean by that, if you look here, you can see by the back of the magazine, for those that really care about that, you can see you do have your little convexed, I would say, little gas seal there. So as long as you've got that, you know you're on VFC and it will run. What I know for sure is the Marksman, the Maruyama, and the VFC magazines will work. You can run the Glock 19 from VFC, the Glock 17, and the Glock 18, whether it's in the tiny, the medium, or the large mags. It's entirely up to you. But yeah, these are really good mags. Obviously, as you can see, this is kind of like been milled out, and you do have your fill valve up here instead of at the bottom where VFC would normally have it. But as VFC have now started to put them up here, of course, I guess they didn't get the memo when they milled all this. But anyway, you can see where they milled out Glock, and obviously on the base plate the same. There is no, how do you say, Glock logo there anymore, and the fill valve has been cut away. So yeah, these are kind of cool. You do get your nice follower. They will hold 48 BBs. So remember that 48. Don't put 50 in there because you will break the loading arm. I always make sure to lock this to the rear before inserting a new mag anyway, because that way you keep the loading arm, I would say, from bending and breaking. And again, keeping this to 48, it's less pressure and it just works better. Now, moving forward, we do have the unique Wilson Combat style handguard. Now, of course, it would have the logo right here. You do have your QD sling points right there, and you do have M-lock on the 3, 6, and 9. These are actual M-locks on the angle, but again, it's up to you if you want to use that. I've gone ahead and fitted a hand stop / full grip there for seat clamping. It's kind of cool. Sorry again if you hear me sniffling. Again, it's a summer cold. Thank you to the children. It's always the same whenever they get ready for finishing school. As of recording this, one always gets sick and passes it to me. Anyone who's a dad out there or a mum will know themselves. Now, here on the top, this little hole here, that's your actual hop adjustment. You do have a TDC hop in this. It's really, really good. Now, because of that, the unique factor of how it is set here means that this is a proprietary handguard. So you'll love it or hate it, this is all you got for now. I will also note that Marksman are currently working on a different company, a same sort of idea with compatible handguards. I'm gonna leave that off just in case things don't go through, but they are currently working very hard with that company right as we speak. So please bear that one in mind. Now, you do get your aluminium outer barrel inside, and you do get a 14mm CCW, so you can easily remove. But one thing I will show you right here on the muzzle brake is a little grub screw. I've taken mine out because if you don't and you forget that it's there, you will basically, I would say, destroy your threads, and many people have. So you do get the unique Wilson Combat muzzle brake there, which is really good. It is a 14mm CCW thread at the end, so put on there whatever you want. The one thing I will tell you with this is I did actually replace the inner barrel with a standard and cut it right the way down to about here. And the reason being is with the one that comes with it, it is the VFC's precision inner barrel, and that means you're hitting 400 FPS out the box. So I'd highly recommend that you change that, because you don't have an impasse in the bolt carrier, and I'll show you that why when we disassemble it. Now, if I flip this around, we can see that you have everything mixed. You do get your nice enlarged mag release right there. You do have your serial number right there. It is engraved into the low receiver for your marking, so you can see where your actual, gun is set to. But if you want, you just use any VFC ambidextrous, how would you say, fire selector switch, and you can put one on this side. If you want it fully ambi, it's up to you, okay? Like I say. Now, as you can see, you do get your full CNC'd aluminum bolt carrier assembly in there, and it is really nice looking. I do like the lovely lightning cuts. It is a 9mm bolt, like I say, so we'll show you that after we've taken this out to the range. So why don't we go do that now, and let's go see how she shoots. Okay, this is the Marksman 9 AR9 with 0.25 gram BBs and green gas. Okay. 287.2 high, 284.3 low. Not so bad with an average of 285.9. Very snappy little AR9. Okay, I'm here now with the Marksman 9 AR9 gas blowback rifle, and I'm going to take it back to about 10 to 15 meters. Let's see what she can do. Okay, so let's check the Texas Star against the Marksman 9 AR9. So let's take it back and let's shoot. I'll count it. Okay, I do feel that this testing is kind of unfair because of what I did to the inner barrel. Obviously, I have ordered a tight bore for that in that length, so I should get the FPS kind of right. But you've already seen the FPS, it's absolutely bang on decent with 0.25s. You have a bit of room to creep throughout the summer. And of course in the winter, if I need, I can always use a little bit more pokier gas. But if I do put a tight bore in this, that's going to correct this and bring this even tighter. So it's not bad. I mean, again, it is a 3.5 inch grouping, give or take, at its widest point. It's more really going to be a 3 inch grouping, if you ask me. You can see many of the BBs are very close together. It's just, like I say, the inner barrel I put in this was a standard 6.06, if I remember rightly, not a tight bore, and it was cut down by myself. So, like I say, when I get the new one, I will definitely do a little YouTube short kind of addressing this, but it's still very good for what it is. You're going to hit a person at 15 meters to 30 meters. You're still going to hit a human-sized target. If you don't, again, like I say, there's something else wrong. So let's get that out of the way. Let's show you what we get. As I said, this is just a standard car 15 stock, so that can come there. And you do have your standard mil-spec buffer tube, as you can see quite here. It's the VFC single piece with their single hole right there at the bottom for drainage and for air. But yep, you get your standard M4A1 castle nut on there. Everything's pretty much the same. It doesn't have any sling loop here on the back. It relies on your stock, so make sure you either swap that out or get a stock with one on there. It's entirely up to you. Now you can see mine's been scratched to pieces, and that's because I've been experimenting. No, that is not the buffer, just FYI, because that is an aluminium spacer. I took that out, and obviously everything got jammed together, so I had to, ram this out, and it scratched it all up. But it kind of proved the point. You do have a spacer, and that's because the bulk carrier that comes with this is smaller than normal, and it does need that little spacer so it doesn't over travel inside. Okay? Now, you do get VFC standard AR9 GBBR anti-bounce buffer. It's aluminium with its recoil spring. Just FYI, that will go in there with that little spacer, and that's what gives you your snappy little report, as you would say. You do get steel pins, steel auto sear, aluminium fire selector, aluminium trigger, steel hammer, disconnector, and all the other bits, except the hammer has a brass screw there. It's a flathead. You can adjust that for the travel. Again, if you're having, magazine issues where it won't lock back due to the fact that you're getting, not enough gas going through it to cycle it, you can tune that if you wish. As you can see right there, this is the VFC Gen 3 internals. So it is replaceable with VFC's Gen 3. Just bear in mind that this does have an elongated steel, because it is steel, along with its, the bolt stop is steel. And you can see your catch here for the magazine is steel. All this shaft in here is steel. All the bolts here are steel. But yeah, you can see your steel part there. Just remember it has to be longer because of the Glock magazine. It has to reach the back of that. Okay, your mag release is steel and your mag catch over there is steel. There is a steel pin. One thing I will tell you, that little pin in there, if you see it keep popping out, just grab a little punch, put it in there and tap it one little tap and it will jam into where it should be because it's supposed to catch inside of here. And it will come out here at the bottom if you overdo it, so don't, and there you go. Like I say, you do have your, if I can show it you in there now. Yep, you do have your spring-loaded little pressure bumper here to help stop the rattle of your mags. Again, every mag is different, so you can tighten it to how you wish. It's perfectly fine and a decent lower. One little advice, when you get this, make sure that when you move this and this, there is no play. If there is, you see these little grub screws, you're going to want to back them out slightly, add a little bit of Loctite, and then tighten them down as tight as you can get them, and make sure that this is fully down and that's fully down when you tighten it, because otherwise you will have lock back issues anyway. Okay, so just bear that in mind. Once you've done that on there, you're ready to go. This thing is all good. Now, let's talk about the bolt. As you can see, there is your bolt carrier. It's a CNC solid aluminium piece, very lightweight. Again, it's going to cycle ridiculously fast. You can see where the fast semi is cutting in there at the bottom. And you have your nozzle. Again, it is a AR-15 nozzle at the rear with the same piston head here at the back, you can see there. But inside it, because of the differences inside, this does not have a MPAS. It is a what they call a high flow, laminar flow to be exact, nozzle. And so therefore, again, if you had a tight bore in a barrel on there, with the airflow out of this, it really does work. Now, of course, this is just a polymer thick loading arm, but you can break it. So that's why I say don't use more than 48 rounds inside your mag. But other than that, it's really well built. Again, it's quite simple and easy to use. Now, moving up to the upper. Again, the upper is CNC finished, so that's quite nice. You can see where it all moves. You have your nice loading ramp right here. Don't know if I can get that in, but that does go into there, and your BBs will get nicely kicked in. It is the VFC blue booking, I believe. And like I say, it is adjusted for hop through here. It's very easy to disassemble. It's a torque screw right here. Undo that. The whole handguard slides off and back out the screw till you can feel it loose with no ratchet. And then you can just pull the entire inner barrel, the bolt off, and obviously the whole lot comes out. It's really simple to do. And like I say, maintenance-wise, this is easily done in 5 minutes, okay? It's not a hard thing to do. And as you can see, it is a full-length T-handle, but because of the length of the bolt carrier inside it, yeah, and you need that spacer. You won't get a massive pull on it. It's more in line with the Marui MWS system in the length of travel. So, now that we've done that, let's put all this back together and let's discuss. Okay, so if you've gotten this far in the video and you like what you see, but you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. While you're there, hit that notification button and that like button. That way you stay notified whenever I upload a new video, and you really help out with the YouTube algorithm. If you want to go one step further, you can always donate to the channel through the YouTube thanks button, and doing that really goes a long way to putting bigger and better guns on the table. And if you don't, it's perfectly fine, but if you do, a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart. Now, with that all being said, let's discuss, is this actually any good? Well, the Marksman 9, yes. Let's cut the chat. This is basically another shell company from VFC. This is VFC trying to give you, the shooter and the user, the consumer, what you want. The AR9 is a platform that is very, very rarely seen now in gas blowback. The only other company that makes a dedicated, proper, not that shitty WE AR-15 with a a little insert that still has the mag for the 5.56, but with a Glock in the middle, a stick mag. That looks absolute shite. Come on, we all know it. This is a dedicated platform. They chose one of the best companies out there with Wilson Combat to do their kind of body shape and that. And like I say, it basically is. It's just missing the markings. But that's something you can add on there later if you so wish. But yeah, they've given you steel control parts. They've given you all VFC Gen 3 internals, a TDC hop. The barrel, if you're using this outdoors at decent ranges, you can leave the stock barrel and run it at nearly 400 FPS on 2.5 gram BBs. Have at it. If you don't, you can know from my testing here, you can shorten the barrel right the way down to about 4.5 inches and use a tight bore, and that will still give you around the 300 FPS mark with 2.5 grams, which is bang on for what it needs, and you will obviously improve the accuracy more than what I've done with mine. But out the box, this thing is brilliant. The marks that I put on there, the scratches, are only because I'm, how to say, the idiot that has to do it for you guys and took that spacer out to see if it would slow down the rate of fire or not, and it jammed the bolt in there. And you can imagine the faff it was to get that undone. But that's the fun that we do. If I don't experiment, you'll do it and you'll break it, and I'd rather break mine than you break yours, right? So, absolutely great. Gas efficiency-wise, you're getting over 95 to 100 rounds on one charge of gas out of these mags, and of course you can easily use the VFC ones if you've got them, or you can use the Maruti Armor if you have an APC9 from them, or what have you. Have at it. And that's just absolutely amazing. You've got the AR stock, you can put whatever you want on, the grip, you can do that, charging handle you can change. Pretty much everything but the handguard is customizable, so have at it. I think this is absolutely brilliant. I really do think it's worth the money. Coming in at $244.99 if you buy it in Hong Kong right now from WGC or what have you. It's really, really affordable. Yeah, you've got customs and that on top, but it's still, for a GBBR in this spec, it's more cheaper than buying a King Arms TWS, which is the other, I would say, AR9 platform that's been done. But that's it, you know, and they're over 500-600 quid, and this will be a lot cheaper, and you've got all the VSC parts, so you know you've got a better and easier system to work with, not some overly complicated clockwork locking system for your bolt stop that breaks every 5 minutes. Just check YouTube, there's enough videos on them to tell you that. So yeah, I'm really stoked with this. I really think this is one of the best things they've done for fun at a cheap and a cool, affordable price, like I say. So yeah, let me know what you guys think down below, and I will post a little short video when I get the new barrel. I'll do that testing after the summer holidays here in the UK for kids. I will get out on the range and we'll get that done at some point. So, with all that being said, I've been the Middle-Aged Gamer. You guys have been amazing. Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next video.